UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is fighting back against claims he is to blame for two disastrous Conservative Party losses in by-elections in the past week. During his visit to Rwanda, he said people are sick of hearing about Partygate and want his government to move on and deal with the country's inflation crisis.
A PM keen to move onwards and upwards. This his final day with Commonwealth counterparts in Rwanda. Fellow leaders gathering together to discuss shared priorities. But the personal priority for this leader is to move on, as he was finally forced to admit mistakes he's made. Prime Minister, you told me yesterday people are bound to continue to beat you up. Do you feel beaten at the moment?
No. So what I mean is that when you're the leader of a country, in good times and in bad, you have to think about the criticisms that you get. Politics is about allowing people to have the democratic safety valve of letting off at governments, but then, such as in by-elections. But then the job of a leader is to say, well, what is the criticism that really matters here? Right?
But the criticism was about you, sir.
That's right.
It was about you.
That's right. And I think what people were hearing...
But you do acknowledge that. You are part of the problem.
What I certainly think is that if you look at the by-elections, people were absolutely fed up about hearing about things that I'd stuffed up, endless churn of stuff. And what they wanted to hear was, well, yeah, but what is this guy, what is this guy doing? And so I want to talk about our plan to help people with the cost of living.
His cabinet too keen to talk about other things. Do you agree with the Prime Minister that he has stuffed up over Partygate?
I 100% support the Prime Minister. He's doing an excellent job and we need to keep going at this very difficult time.
Loyalists rallying around the Prime Minister as he makes it crystal clear to his opponents that he has absolutely no intention of stepping aside for some time yet. But he also did give a little bit of ground today, admitting to me that he had stuffed up and it had annoyed voters. But as he concludes this trip to Kigali, he's not going to be going home to face the music. Instead, he's going on to the G7 and NATO, where the war in Ukraine will dominate. And the Prime Minister wants to make the case for a democracy under threat. The PM worried about world fatigue over Ukraine.
Remembering that, look, I know that it's tough. It's tough in the UK. I know that the cost of food has gone up, the cost of fuel. Everybody is looking at this. Too many countries are looking at this thing now and saying, this is a European war that is unnecessary. It's an economic problem that we don't need. And so the pressure will grow to try to encourage, coerce maybe the Ukrainians to a bad peace.
And pressure too to offset the economic impacts of the Ukrainian conflict.
Our plan for a stronger economy certainly includes responsible tax
next year.
They are coming in next month in the form of big cuts to people's national insurance contributions.
Additional tax cuts next year.
We've already put in cuts to council tax and fuel duty.
Additional tax cuts next year.
And I know you want me to go further, but...
well, it's not me, it's people that can't pay their bills, so they need help.
We will do what we can.
A lot of red carpet, royalty and moments of respite for the PM in Rwanda. But as this leg of his international tour comes to a close, things are certainly not bright for this PM. Events of recent days will be hard to put to bed.